So today's theme is balancing automation with the human touch. We're going to cover the cutting edge tools and their practical applications. And then on the other side of things, we're going to reflect on how to keep the people, our customers, our teams, and our communities at the heart of it all. So to kick things off, I am delighted to welcome someone who really understands that balance. We have Kelly Mahoney, who is the CMO of Ulta. She's going to talk about how Ulta is blending digital innovation with a very deeply personal touch. Interviewing Kelly is Julee Wilson, editor-at-large at Cosmopolitan. Kelly and Julie, welcome to the stage.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
How's everyone doing? It's early, it's hot.
Early.
I was telling Kelly this is a little bit of a different crowd for me. You guys are all like corporate execs, like understand basis points and like Excel sheets. I'm like a words person. As they said, I am with Cosmopolitan magazine, but I am a lifelong career journalist and storyteller, and I've done a lot of storytelling around Ulta because it is such a special place. So I'm very excited to be talking to you, Kelly, because I think that your insight on how Ulta is moving through this technology space is really important because beauty is so personal. Like, we all have different skin tones, different skin concerns, like our hair texture, like all of those things. And so I think it's really interesting when you add that innovation to like what you're doing in the beauty space. So thank you so much for allowing me to pick your brain and to give all of these people some of your like juicy details on what you're doing at Ulta.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Okay.
You guys, you know, the AI of it all, AI try-ons to smarter searching, you really are doing it in a big way. How are you guys keeping up with the technology, but again, keeping that like personal, like touch to it and not feeling like I'm just interacting with like a robot or, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's so important. As you said, you know, beauty is a personal, it's highly emotional category. And you know, the magic of our experience really comes to life in our stores, which we have, you know, over 1,400 locations across the United States, a thriving e-commerce business, but 50,000 humans that are powering this experience. And it's important that we make sure that we always come across to the guest as that welcoming, inclusive, authentic, real place. That's our core, that's who we are. So when you think about data and you think about technology, first of all, I would say our superpower is data. We have 45 million Ulta Beauty Rewards members in our program. And
Can we just like pause
we can
for a
stop
second?
for a second, yeah.
45 million, y'all. I had 44 on my notes.
No, late
but it's
breaking,
45.
45.
Okay. 45, that's insane. And I want to get into that a little bit deeper, but continue. I just wanted to pause on that because that's an amazing number.
Well, I'll drop another one for you. 95% of every sales dollar that flows through our company is coming from those members.
That's incredible too. The loyalty, but also the fact that they really do see the benefit of the rewards.
They do, and we see the benefit of understanding who they are, which is where your question really is the root of the answer to this question. I think it's powering our understanding of the consumer that's helping us stay on the forefront. So 10 years ago, we really set out to build the data foundation. And the data foundation was our vision for the customer understanding engine.
Right.
Because it was that we felt we could truly differentiate our retail experience. Now, 10 years later, what we're doing is we're powering those personalized experiences, leveraging that data. And we are, you know, with 95% of your sales coming through members, we're sitting on a mountain of first-party data.
Yeah.
So we weren't scared when they were talking about the cookieless world because we had that first-party data. Now the trick is, how do you really unleash that data? How do you get that data in a place where you can power the experiences in real time so that you have the right decisioning engines across the journeys that you're creating, whether that be an online journey or whether that be even a journey that's happening inside our store. And I think that's the opportunity for Ulta Beauty now. Our next horizon is really, how do we start to bring technology to enable the experiences our associates can create with every guest, not to be a hindrance, but truly to be inspiring the
Right.
human experience.
I don't know if it's the same way in commerce as it is in like publishing and what I do, but the algorithm is always changing. I feel like we're always having a meeting with all of us editors and being like, okay, we were going for like, you know, the SEO for this, and now Google is saying we need to do this. Like, how do you harness these technologies without having to keep running after like the new thing? How do you have like a crazy I'm sure you have a crazy team in place that can kind of assess the technologies that are out there and being like, we can leave this one alone and we should try this one. But how do you do that without that anxiety? Because I'm always feeling the anxiety of like, well, the algorithm might change, so should I do this story or should I not?
Yeah. So I think 10 years ago when we set out to create the data foundation, we had to recreate that data foundation probably 3 times in the last 10 years because things were evolving so quickly. As we embarked on the marketing tech stack and building the spine for which was going to create our future, which is around a personalized, customer-driven experience, we started to realize when we got on the path that there's no end to this path. And we didn't understand 3-4 years ago that there was a thing called a CDP to even have incorporated it into our plans. And so we started to understand, and this was kind of after the CEO and our board saying, when is this project going to end?
Yeah.
It's not going to end. And so kind of reestablishing the expectations at the board level, partnering very closely with my chief technology officer, who is also our chief transformation officer. And the CMO and the CTTO, I like to call them, are truly the new power couple that helps the company understand that this is always on. This is like a maintain budget. You got to get your heads around that, and then you've got to work with your CFO to understand this is an always on maintain.
It's
evolution.
stamina, it's a marathon, you constantly just have to keep.
You have to keep moving through it because the technology is changing. So what you need is a data foundation. You need a marketing tech stack that is your spine, and then from there, it's really a constant evolution of building out the ecosystem that's going to power the different experiences that a team, and we call it the fusion team, which is truly marketers sitting next to your product team, sitting next to your IT infrastructure team. That is their day jobs. They're working together always, and that's where the marketers are saying, hey, I understand the consumer really well. I don't understand how to power this thing, but this is the experience I think that's going to add value. I don't understand how to make it work. The product team's going, this is how you can make it work. Right. Here are your option sets. And the IT team's going, here's how we're going to connect it all together so we're not wasting time, making bad investment decisions. Right. You know, do we buy this one? Do we build this one? And it's just a constant conversation.
That's so interesting. Like, excuse my ignorance, but is that how most like companies are set up, like working that closely together with different teams, or is it more siloed?
Well, I think it's the modern approach for sure. I think you see the companies that are working in this way, delivering on the customer experience in real time. I think those are kind of obvious, but no, I imagine not everybody is working in this way, and it's hard. This is probably harder. Adapting your organizational structures and operating models is probably way harder than any sort of implementation of an ERP system or a MarTech stack, in my opinion. And we're still learning, for sure. We're still learning. Get help.
I don't even know what those things meant. That she just said.
Are we supposed to be talking about beauty?
I'm sitting here like,
what are we doing here?
Yeah, but like, no, I mean, it sounds all amazing. I mean, again, my end of it in the storytelling is about the products, the founders, how the marketing is, what companies you guys are bringing in, which I think is also a really great story. We're not going to bring up any competitors, other beauty retailers, but I feel like Ulta, you're able to give this 360 experience because not like most out there, you also have salon experiences. You really have experts that are knowledgeable about all the brands that you're bringing in and being very judicious around where you're bringing in. So let's talk a little bit now more about that loyalty program, right? Because I think that is something that so many more companies can implement. I think it really truly creates not only revenue, because I know y'all like money. We all like money, but like make the money, but it's the community, right? Like you're building a community. Like Ulta shoppers are talking to each other. They're on TikTok. They're talking about not only what their hauls, but like their experiences. So tell us, like, give us more of like an under the hood look at that loyalty program and how maybe we can implement that in some of the other companies out here.
That's my favorite. It's my baby. Started working at Ulta Beauty about 10 years ago. It came in to really lead our loyalty program and the evolution and what you see today, 10 years later. So 10 years later, we're Ulta Beauty Rewards, 45 million members strong. What I like to say and what attracted me to come to Ulta Beauty was that we truly do put the members at the center of the total customer experience, which we call the undeniably Ulta Beauty experience.
Yes.
That's sort of welcome, approachable, inclusive, knowledgeable, warm face of beauty. That's who we are. And I think it all starts with becoming a member. 95% of all of our sales are coming from members. So we're talking every just about person that's walking through these doors are members. Some are going to be base members. Some are going to be platinum and diamond. And that sort of is based on how much you're willing to frequently shop with us and how much you're willing to spend with us. And we like to sweeten the deal as you spend more and more. And so the trick here to growing a thriving program is making sure that you have a compelling value proposition. Anybody a member in the room? Show of hands? Yeah.
Huge.
Nice. If you're not, it's free to join. Go.
I mean, I think it's very interesting because I'm always that girl like at the counter that's like, no, I don't want to sign up for your like things. I don't want the credit card.
You're like, it's
Nobody
free.
needs, like, I just want to get my things and go. Yep. Like the fact that you are making that conversion so
easy.
Like easily, one, I think again goes back to the rewards that you are giving back to them. This is not just like, we just want your information, we'll throw a few Peasley awards to you that you're going to have to spend like thousands of dollars to get something back. You really create a rewards program that allows them to actually get something out of their spending.
I like to say I really don't know of a loyalty program that can touch the value, the true value, the mathematical equation here of value that we deliver to our guests when you redeem a point. And if you don't know how many points you have and you've shopped at Ulta Beauty, I say go and check because you'll be surprised. And there's no gimmicks here. There's no blackouts. There's no difficulty or challenge or hurdles in the way of redeeming those points. So that it all does start with a really compelling value proposition, but that is not all because you have to continue to enhance the value of your program. And so for us, we've been really leaning into the experiential aspects of it. When you come in to be a member, you are a member, and you come into our stores, you feel like you're a member. You're getting something very special. And that's exclusive access to our 21 Days of Beauty event, which is something I know our beauty lovers love because it's a great deal, and these deals, they go fast. So if I'm a platinum or diamond member, I can get in there before anybody else, for instance. When we think about the next generation of beauty shoppers, or shoppers in general, we understood, because that's kind of our secret sauce that drives a lot of our growth, is the understanding of the customer that next generation shopper, those teenagers, the points, while very, very valuable, it's like saving for retirement. They're like, I don't even have enough money to be able to accumulate the amount of points. Give me something and give me something right now. Yes. I think we learned that from Chipotle. If you guys are a Chipotle fan, my kids, they love Chipotle. Part of what they do well is that they make it very accessible to get something free. And that's a free burrito, a free chip and guac. So it's like taking that model and applying it to us. We need to make sure that we're delivering an experience for them, free gifting, free sampling, free access to meet a founder, free access to learn how to do a new look or a skincare routine. And so that's another dimension of our program that has allowed us to continue to retain our members in our program. The trick is to get to 45, you always got to be adding new, but you got to be keeping your customers coming back year over year.
And again, I love that it's not just about getting product, it's about getting experience too, and being a part of a true community.
Yes.
Let's talk go back a little bit to the technology of it all. I don't know about y'all, but I'm very scared of like the whole AI of it all, the chat GPT of it all. It's great, don't get me wrong. I love the intelligence behind it, but that can also be scary. Like when they can start writing stories, I might be out of job. Call me though, because I can do a lot of things. I have a lot of hats I can wear, so I might be hitting some of you up for a job someday if a computer takes mine. But How do you balance that technology and like all of this like innovation that's happening with the creativity that you have? I've been to Bolingbrook. I've seen how amazing it is up there. I've seen how Ulta runs, and I know you have such creative minds there. How do you make sure you're balancing the technology with also keeping real humans in their creativity?
Inspired. Yeah. Well, beauty is an inspiring category, and beauty is super all about emotional. And so we cannot stifle creativity at all. But that isn't what AI is actually here to do. And I believe that firmly. I was in Cannes just last week talking a lot about AI, especially about creativity. And I think what's really interesting to me as I reflect on the last 3 years of this discussion is it sort of started with AI's coming and it's gonna ruin everything and be scared, to like now, especially in an environment like Cannes, which is just the sort of mecca of creativity. It's not about that. It's about, all right, wait a minute, we better figure out how to use this thing. We like better figure out how to use this thing because it's only gonna make us better at what we do in creativity. And that's how we're embracing it truly at Ulta Beauty, is how do we use this technology to make us even more creative? And so I've coined the phrase, just sort of sat on the airplane on my way back and I thought like, okay, this is an interesting insight. And so I've thought about it as creativity and tech. When have we talked about creativity and tech? The new power couple, like the new power couple, creativity and tech. So now what we have to do is we have to help our creatives, help our organization understand how to leverage. I mean, this is the same organization that probably had to live through the whole digital transformation of photography. And it's like, that only enhanced things. That didn't actually, take
these robots
away.
are a little scary.
They're a little scary, but
but beauty is also an amazing place, like sector to be in too, because again, you have to touch, you have to feel, you have to like be a part. There's a true deep human experience that has to happen with beauty.
It does, but it is also, because I think 6 or 7 years ago, we might have thought, you'll never buy beauty online. We might have thought, you never will buy beauty online. Well, that's definitely not the case today. So I think there is a place for technology to play with beauty, and I like to say that it's there to help inspire the human connection. Like, this is the idea of our 50,000 associates that are in the stores. I don't know about you, but sometimes I use ChatGPT to make me a better conversationalist. Like, how do we empower our 50,000 associates to be a better conversationalist? Ultimately,
that's true. I never even thought about it that way.
Ultimately, to help guide the guest.
Yeah, and guide the community. We have a few more minutes. I wish we had more time, but I have a few more questions. As a Black woman being in this space, I have to say I'm constantly looking for people that are doing DEI right. And I know that's probably like a 4-letter word at this point, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it.
Not at Ulta Beauty.
I said it. It's clearly taped. DEI is important, and I feel like Ulta is doing such a great job of that and has continued to, even amongst the whole rollback of that. Can you talk a little bit about how you guys are doing that and so thoughtfully?
I actually just got the chills when you said that, so thank you, for starters. This is so important to us, especially when we sit here in Pride Month. DEI isn't an initiative at Ulta Beauty, so it therefore can't be rolled back.
Yeah.
And I love the way Keisha Stillman, our new CEO, talks about DEI with strength. And it's who we are. It's our core. It's what we do. And so it's not something that will ever roll back, because it's what we do, and it's in our essence, and it's in our DNA. So thank you for recognizing that. I really appreciate it. It's always at the thought, at the tip of our tongue, or the thought of the next marketing ad campaign that we want to do. And are we ensuring that we're representing all voices? We like to say we're beauty for all ages at every life stage. And the only way that you can really stand behind that is if you're reflecting the communities and the societies that you live in, and we operate, and we try to be a force for good for all. So thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. It brings to mind always future proofing, and I know that's what everyone is trying to do. Everybody wants to be here for the long haul. Everybody wants a legacy brand. If you are not putting DEI at the forefront, it won't happen. I'm always like, do you all like making money? We already talked about this. Yes, you do. But like, if you are not talking to different communities, and this is just not black and white, this goes across like gender, age, able, non-able, like it's if you're not talking to those communities, then you're not future-proofing your company. And I love that Ulta's doing that.
Thank you.
So thank you for that. And in our last minute, I want you to talk to us a little bit about what's on the horizon. Is there anything you can tell us? I sign embargoes for a living, so we can talk backstage if there's anything else you want to tell us. But what can you tell this group of people that Ulta's doing and that's you're really excited about?
Oh my gosh, so much. There's so much. I've been in the role now for 100 days as the Chief Marketing Officer. 10 years at the company, 100 days as CMO. Thank
Congrats.
you. Thank you. So every day is exciting.
Yes, happy Annie.
Thank you. So what we're really, what I'm personally really fascinated by is this is culture as the new growth engine. We have an amazing brand. Ulta Beauty is an amazing brand, and I think we stand for something that's really, truly special. And you've shared that in your words, and I really appreciate that. So part of what I'm looking forward to is expressing that brand in a different way, and maybe you'll see that soon. But really being able to say something to our guests as to why you should shop at Ulta Beauty for everything, because we're more than a destination where you just buy your beauty products. To your point, we have the salons, we have the service, we have the connection, the community. And I don't think there's any beauty retailer or retailer that can really deliver on this idea of being a destination where you can come and you can have fun and you can learn and you can grow and you can do that together. But I think we have a story to tell, especially in the modern day environment that we all are living in, to be a force for good for all and to share that with the world. I'm super excited about how we're gonna do that and how we're gonna show up. I also am excited about these places that we're showing up, and some might say little unsuspecting places. Ooh. I like to be that I like to find ways into places that no one saw coming. People on my team know I'm like, how are they not gonna see us coming?
Right.
I don't know if you caught us at the Super Bowl last February, but we didn't just place an ad. That was like day 5 on the job. We didn't just place an ad. That could have been the easy route. We recognize Super Bowl's a moment. It is a sporting event. It's also a pop icon event.
Yes.
And if you guys don't think people are getting ready for the Super Bowl to attend that game or go to their parties, it's a beauty event. So we recognize that, but we said, what does the consumer want? What does the beauty lover want from us during something like the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
They want help getting ready. They want to be inspired. They want to have a little fun while they're getting ready. So we showed up that way, bringing our influencers together and helping them get ready for the win. It was women in and women of sports all in one place. And we're just filming content and we're giving it and sharing it for the world to see. And I think another example of that is what we're doing with Cowboy Carter. I don't know if you guys are Beyonce fans, but
have you guys heard of Beyonce?
We certainly
I know
are.
It's early, but I know you've heard of Beyonce, right? Okay, good.
She's coming home to Houston.
Yes.
So she's coming home. She just did her leg over in Paris. She's coming home to Houston. And I think the unsuspecting way in which we were able to show up for our beauty lovers and fans of Beyonce, because they're both, is helping them get ready. Because if you've ever been to a concert, seeing people get ready for a concert is an event. You know, it's about what you're wearing. It's about your makeup.
I saw Carter twice, and it was a whole thing. You got to do the whole look. You got to do the whole thing. So
did you catch that we've got the looks?
Yes.
And we're dropping each of the looks for every city. It's those type of experiences that I think are that new growth engine that I'm just really excited. So you're going to see us show up more inside culture, not creating, shaping.
Shaping culture. I love that. We went over time, but it doesn't matter because we're
Hopefully
the bomb.
You enjoyed it.
And you gave such great insights. Thank you so much, Kelly.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing
Thank
at
you.
Ulta.
Thank you.
We're watching and applauding.
Thank you.